Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be reviewing a liquid wallpaper. Now, like your regular wall finishing materials, paints, wall tiles, and then paper wallpaper, and any other material you're used to, this also has its own qualities. And one of the qualities that stood out for me is the fact that it's an organic material, meaning there is no chemical used in its composition. So it's safe to use in your interior or exterior wall surfaces. Other qualities are the fact that it has aesthetic value. That means it can upgrade your space and make it luxurious. I'll be demonstrating that in this video. And then acoustic value also, it reduces echoes in your wall spaces. It's a DIY material. That means you can apply it yourself. You don't have to engage a technician to do that, and I will be demonstrating that also in this video. Now, if you are patient enough to watch this video till the end, I will be showing you one of my favorite quality of this material, which is the fact that you can literally take this material down from an existing wall surface to a different space, right? Isn't that interesting? You can't do that with any other material, right? So just stick around, don't go nowhere. Now, of course, every material has its own pros and cons, and one of the cons for this one is what I'll be telling you at the end of this video. So don't go nowhere. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so I just realized I didn't use the product to do a video before I started the application process, the mixing process. So, but doing that with the catalog would also suffice. So here is the catalog for Silk Plaster. Because I was going to review the product, so I got the catalog also. So this is Silk Plaster, and it says here wall covering material for interior design, emphasis on interior design. So Silk Plaster established since 1997. Behind it, you have 7 characteristics of the product. So number 1 is that it is eco-friendly. It is eco-friendly. I mentioned that earlier. And then easy to apply. It is easy to apply. Fragmented repair, it could be repaired easily. DIY, do it yourself. I didn't get any training and then I applied it myself. You can do the same. And then elastic, no joints, and then extra sound and heat insulation, and then incombustible. That means they catch fire. You go put fire, no go catch. So going inside now, so we have about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, that's 32 now all together. There are different varieties you can choose from here, and the one we reviewed, this is the one we reviewed, Ecoline 764. Ecoline 764. So that's the one and then guess which one is my favorite, the one I use for my project. This is it, South 941. South 941. So you can as well go get a copy yourself, and then you have the catalog, and from the catalog you're going to make your choice. And then I'll also like to say this, the fact that this one we reviewed is for interior spaces. If you want to use a product from them to use on an exterior space, or maybe you want to use it in a place where you have a lot of water activities, say your kitchen, your bathroom, or your toilet, you should specify, let them know where you want to use the product, and then they are going to kind of tell you what you should use, what kind of product you should use, and then if there's any surface preparation that needs to be done. There are 3 major materials we're going to use in this application. Number 1, of course, is the Silk Plaster product. Then secondly is the trowel, the hand trowel. You could use the plastic or the metal trowel, anyone you can reach. And then thirdly is the glitters. There are 2 types of glitters, the gold glitter or the silver glitter, but I decided to go for the gold for this application. So we cut open our Silk Plaster product and empty it in a bowl. You can cut it open and add water in it and shake it, maybe just stir it up effectively. That would still work, but I decided to use a bowl, and soon I realized that bowl was actually too small, so I had to get something bigger and add water. You go in with water and then your glitters. I decided to add the glitters after the water, so but I think it works either ways. You can add the glitters before the water or after the water. Just be sure to stir up, mix it up very well. Be sure that the glitters and the water is properly mixed with the product. So I had this leftover product I used on a project, so I decided to add it up, and I soon realized that it was a wrong move. So I should have done that in a different container, because I had to start picking it out again. It didn't dissolve with the first product I mixed, so I had to pick it out and put it in a different bowl. And here our product is ready, keeping the silk plaster, the liquid wallpaper, to soak properly. They recommend 8 hours, but I left it all through the day. So I had drawn lines earlier with my pencil using my spirit level. So because I just want to kind of give it a design form, and I'm going to be using a paper tip. So the idea is so that I can have something to guide me when I'm applying the silk plaster. This is the surface I'm going to apply it, so I just thought, why not do something nice? See, it's not perfect, but then it looks parallel to me. So I'm going to give it one final mix before I begin application. So remember, I told you I had a previous one which I used which I had from a previous project. So this is it. I had to put it in a different bowl because it was actually strong. So just before you start applying, you can do well to just clean the surface. In case you have cobwebs or dust, you can just, you can use broom, or you can use a clean cloth, whatever you have, you can just use something. The purpose is to keep the surface clean. That's it basically. So we're about to start. So this is my plastic trowel. You have to be careful if you're using a plastic trowel, because it's not as strong as the steel trowel. So you scoop out this much. I think this is too much. So you scoop out this much. Let me come close so you see. So you scoop out this much, and then you scoop out this much, and then on your trowel, then you start applying. Still at it. So I actually had to do these designs because I suspected this wasn't going to be enough. So, but from the way it's looking, it's going to be sufficient to cover this bottom part, and if there's any leftover, I'll find a way to chip everything in. But this is how far it's going. My hands are hurting, especially my left arm is hurting, and yeah, I'm learning on the job. So one of the things I observed is using the trowel while trying to screed over a particular area. The bottom part of the trowel kind of touches some other parts. But aside that, it has been an interesting experience. See how far we've gone. I don't know how much time I've taken here, but I'm almost done. I'm trying to finish up this part, and then when I'm done, I will go over it, take out the paper tape, and then just go through it, do little maintenance, but that will be it. So Again, when you're doing this, when you're done, as soon as you're done, you can turn on the fan. I didn't turn on my fan because I don't want anywhere to start getting dry. I want to finish and then be able to do the maintenance first before I do that. But so far, this is how far I have gone. I hope you're enjoying the process. So this is something you can actually do yourself. That's why I'm actually doing this, so that you can see, and without training, just by watching this video, you can get the product yourself. You can have it sent to you from any part of the country, and you get the product yourself. There's no chemical, no admixture, there's nothing to add to it at all. As soon as you open the product with your trowel, and then of course, depending on your type of wall, if your wall has problems already, you need to prime it. There's a solution you need to buy. You need to get from silk plaster as well, so you get it alongside the product. You get both, and then you'll be instructed on how to apply it. But it's this simple. Actually, it's very simple. You can see I'm doing this myself, no training whatsoever, just by observation. So I saw them do it, and then I just knew I could do this. And if people get to see, this is something that, I mean, you can see how rich the surface already looks. It looks good, impressive. It was plain before, boring and just there, but then look at what has happened to it. So just imagine I had all of this without the design. Well, it would have been fantastic. So, but even as it is right now, it looks awesome already. So just stick around till the end, and like I promised, I'm going to show you how you can actually transfer this. Remember, I told you can transfer this. You can lift it from this surface and transfer to another surface. Say you're relocating, you're moving into your own space or your own property, you can move this material. You know, you can't do that with tiles or paper, wallpaper really, or paint. So but with this product, you can actually move it. And then service period is just, I just love the technology, I love the invention, and that's why I thought to do a review on the product. So if it's something you like, you want to upgrade your space, or you could use it for a project for a client, especially for interior designers, you should consider this, really. So I'm going to show you what the end result looks like. I'll have to allow it to dry, because even when I'm done, this is still what it will look like, but when it dries, it will look completely different. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's dry without the paper tip, and so you just appreciate what it looks like. So you can see this is day 2 of our liquid wallpaper application, silk plaster, and it's dry right now. It's very much dry, and I already started taking off the paper tip, so I can just go ahead and take this off gradually. Take it off gradually, and maybe I'll bring the camera closer later so you see the thickness. It has like a rendering, a thickness on the wall, and that's one of the attributes. That's the quality for sound absorption. So even when I hit my hand on the wall and then on it, the sound is different. The sound is different because of the sound absorption quality, and that's one of the things I like about the material. But I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? I think it gave this place a different look. The wall was plain before and quite boring, but right now you can see, I mean, I just came up with this design. There's no concept actually. I just thought, instead of having a regular just straight rectangle or a square or a vertical something, I thought to come up with something like this. So but that's, just look at the design and then the difference it has made on this surface. So this is not limited to people who are actually in the construction industry, architects, engineers, and interior designers, but even homeowners. You can see I did this application myself, and that's the purpose of this YouTube channel. So we'll be able to talk about some of those materials, some of those technologies that you can actually use or have a better understanding of those materials and those inventions, so you know how to use them, where to use them, and then even if you're getting a professional to do the job, you know exactly what the person is doing. Okay, so let me just take this off. Let me take this off. Solid and how firm the liquid wallpaper can be. Right now that is strong, you can see even when I attempt to scratch it with my hands, even though I don't have so much, my fingers are not that long, but it's still firm. So it's difficult, even if you're afraid, oh, what if a child runs, except you have a child that runs around with your chisel. But even at that, if something happens to it, maybe there's a blemish or a scratch on it, right? There is also a remedy to that you don't need a technician. You actually don't need a technician to get it fixed, and I'm going to demonstrate that. So you get a spray bottle. That's just to help you give direction to where you want the water to hit. So let's say I apply the water here. You apply it until it's soaked. And then you let it rest. You give it time. And already I can feel it's already getting soaked. Remember, the composition is just the material and then water. That was what we used, remember, right? So right now you can still apply water, and if I attempt to scratch it like this, you can see it's already giving way. You can see it's peeling off. You can see that it's peeling off. It's already moving. So, and this is the same approach you use to relocating. Say you want to move, you're moving from this space, or you want to take it off from this wall. There's another wall here in this space, here or here. You can as well just apply, and then you give it time. When it soaks like this, then you can scrape it off. Just have a container or something where you scrape it off and you put it there, and you would see that the surface is still intact. No blemish, no damage to the wall, no troubles. So, but then to fix the problem, maybe this was the scratch. So now that you've done this, we'll now do this gradually, gently, and then we'll dress it up. And voila, we're good to go. So, I mean, we'll just give it time, it dries up, and then we're good to go. So this is how you maintain any scratch, any blemish, or even if you want to take it down and move it to a different place, right? Even fire, maybe somebody just comes directly and intentionally puts fire to it, you're going to see the sign, it's going to be dark and all of that. So, but you can come and do the same thing. You apply your water with a spray bottle, give it direction, and then when so you peel it off, you can peel it and then smash it, mix it up, and then you apply it. The color is going to kind of change a little bit, but then you can still put it back. There's no chemical whatsoever to it, and that's one of the things that makes it very exciting and interesting for me to use. Having taken you through the process of putting this together and then applying it, these are my honest opinion, my honest thoughts about the liquid wallpaper, the silk plaster product. Number one, the service period. I mean, it's quite written in their brochure how long this would serve you, but I believe that this is something that would serve you for a very, very long time. I mean, I think that you can actually take it off literally and then put it back anytime you want. You want to add more glitters, you want to do anything to it, you can take it down, or you buy a different product, because they are in variations actually. So you can buy a different one and mix it up with the old one you had, and then you put it back. So I think it's something, say 25, 30 to 50 years or thereabout. Number two, flexibility of use. You can use it on walls, on ceiling. So if you're limited to tiles, paper, wallpapers, paintings, and other wall finishes, and then even ceiling finishes, you can consider the liquid wallpaper silk plaster. You can use it for your POP ceilings, you can use it for your walls, and then different spaces, your toilets, your corridors, balconies, and entrance porch, you can apply silk plaster on those surfaces. And then sound absorption attributes. I mean, I already said that it has this quality of absorbing sound. You know, the whole concept of echo is when sound hits a solid surface. So, but this is not completely solid, so that's why it has that quality of absorbing sounds. Fire resistance. It's not that combustible, so you don't lit fire to it and then it goes up in flames. So it's a good quality. I also think it's a good quality. And then sustainability, the fact that you can move it from this wall, take it to your bedroom, or you're moving to a rented apartment and then you're moving to your own property. You can take it off. You can decide not to give it to the landlord, or you say you just move your wall finish and take it to that place, and you give a facelift and a fantastic look to your space. I mean, my wall now looks luxurious. It looks like $3,000 wall. So these are my honest thoughts, but I want you to do your due diligence, look up the material, and then you can contact them when you're ready to get it. You could get a discount if you show this video to them at the point of purchase. This is just to get you close to the silk plaster finish. So just pay attention. You can see the wall glitters. You can see the glitters on the wall. You can see how sharp this is. You see how it's shiny on the wall, right? This is just so beautiful. This is just so beautiful. I want you guys to rate my design in the comment section. And I hope silk plaster, Mrs. Harriet, I hope you're proud of me. You're proud of what I've done. The design and the application. This is just lovely. This is just lovely. I mean, it took me like over 4 hours to apply this thing. You just know, man, that this person is still a baby in applying this. So, but those guys, their technicians, can actually do this in two hours or 1 hour 30 minutes tops. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. If you're able to see this very closely, and I want to know what you think. The rough texture is just fantastic. Alright guys, don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Now, I mentioned earlier that this material can also have negatives to it, and this is by personal observation. I've applied it, I've used it on projects, and personally I like this material, the silk plaster liquid wallpaper. I've used it on several projects. One of the problems I think the material could have is the fact that it's vulnerable to water. Yes, I mean, we used water to make it to apply and all of that. So, but the very material I use, of course, they have varieties. So there are some that could be used on exterior surfaces, in bathrooms and toilets, places where you have water activities. Those ones are safe. But this very version, this very type I have used, you have to be careful that it is not exposed to water. But aside that, it's a fantastic material. I'd like to know if you've used silk plaster before and what are your experiences. Mention that. Let's talk about it in the comment section. And if it's something you like and you're considering to use, let me hear from you in the comment section. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share the video and like the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.